Good morning. Today we are moving into PO5. I can compare and order decimals. So comparing and ordering decimals, we need to look at those comparing symbols. So we've got this symbol right there. What does that symbol mean, James?
More than.
Does not mean more than. Less than. So when we look at those symbols, we always look at the number to the left compared to the number at the right. So that, we don't sharpen pencils while I'm recording, that's too loud. The number at the left, we say, is it more than or less than that number on the right? We have to look at that symbol. I always teach it like it's an alligator. It wants to gobble up the bigger number. So if we're talking about the left, because we read left to right, so we start at the left, if the point is pointing at it and it's gobbling up the other side, that means it's less than. Over here, we look at that number on the left, compare it to the number on the right. It wants to gobble up the number on the left, so that means it's bigger. It's more than the one on the right. So this symbol means more than. We always, like I said, read from left to right. So we look, is that number on the left bigger or smaller? Is it more than or less than? So we want to always gobble up the bigger number. That will help us know, reading from left to right, if it's more than or less than. This last symbol, I think we all should know. What is that symbol, Jack?
Equal.
Equal to. So here is one method we can use when comparing decimals. It's the stacking method. I know some of us know this method because I saw you do it on that entrance exam that we took that first week of school. The way we stack it is we take each of these decimals and we rewrite it going on top of each other. What's the one thing I have to remember to do? Emma? Line up your decimal places. So I start with that 1.14, then I have 0.368, 1.9, 1.234, 0.36, and 0.25. So now I read from left to right. So I start with that very first column, and I see which numbers are the smallest. I see that there are 3 zeros. Oof, they're all the same. So I'm going to take those 3 numbers and I'm going to look to the next column to see which one has the smallest number. So because 0, 0, and 0 are all equal, I look at my next column. I have a 3, a 2, and a 2. Do I know which one's the smallest off of that? Why not, Bridget? There's 2 2s. I know 2 is smaller than that 3, but there's 2 2s. So I'm going to take the, I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong one. That has a 1 there. I was supposed to look at this one. So it should be a 3, and a 2. That was my bad. Now do I know which one's the smallest one? If I have 2 3s and a 2? Yeah, that 2 is the smallest one. So I know that that is my smallest number. Now I had 2 other zeros, and then I had 2 in the 3's place. Then I have that next column over, I have 6's. Gosh, they're still tied. Now I have an 8 and a nothing. How do I compare 8 with nothing? James?
The 8 is bigger.
How do you know that?
Because 0
What
is,
you just said 0. I don't see a 0.
because if there's nothing there, we just add a 0 to it.
If there's nothing there, we're going to put a 0 in. So now we compare 8 to the 0, and we know 0 is smaller, and then our 8. So I've got my first 3 numbers. Now I'm gonna go back and say, well, in this first column, I had all these ones. So now I'm going to look at the second column. There's a 1, a 9, and a 2. Which one is the smallest number? Lila?
The 1.
The 1. So I was at 3, so that's going to be a 4. Now I have a 9 and a 2. Which one is smaller, Sarah?
The 2.
The 2. So I know this last one is the biggest number. 1.9 is the biggest number I have there. Let's try stacking again over on the second side. So we have 2.9, 2.38, 2.362, 2.73, 2.88. I always double check my work to make sure I didn't miss a number. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers that I lined up. I look at my first column. They're all 2s. So they're all tied so far. So now I have to go to my second column. I have 9, 3, a 3, a 7, and an 8. Which one's the smallest? Maddie? 3s, but I have 2 3s. So how do I know which one is smaller? Kylie? I have to go to my next column, and I see there's an 8 and a 6. Which one is the smallest? Bennett?
6.
The 6, so that is my smallest number. I know that there's only one other one that had that 3 in that second spot, so that's going to be my second smallest number. So now I'm going to go back. Say, okay, 2, 2, and 2 in that first column. Then I have a 9, a 7, and an 8. Which one is smallest? Lila?
The 7.
The 7 is the smallest. Which one is going to be the fourth place? Jack?
At 2.88.
2.88. So then I know the one left over is my largest number. Any questions on stacking our decimals, James?
Do we have to stack? Like, can we just...
For this,
Yeah.
we had to stack, yes. Okay. So right on our notes, yes, everybody's practicing the stacking method. So let's look at our next section. It says compare each decimal, write less than, greater than, or equal to. So we need to look at those symbols, look at the top, remember which symbol's less than, which symbol's greater than. Remember, we want the open mouth of the alligator gobbling up the bigger number. So if we look at our first decimals, we have 0.223, 0.793. What symbol do I need to put in there? Is 0.223,000 smaller than, less than, or greater than 0.793 thousandths? What do you think, Emma? It is, because that 2 is smaller than 7. So what does my less than symbol look like, Emma? Kind of looks like an L. It has that open side to the bigger number. You are going to compare all of these symbols, or all of these numbers that say what, put in the correct symbol. Then on the bottom, it says order the decimals from least to greatest. Doesn't say you have to stack. So, you know you. Some of us are very comfortable with decimals. Some of us, we're still working on it, and that is fine. Stack your numbers if you know it doesn't come easy for you to look at it and just know. If you're going to get them wrong, what am I going to tell you need to do on the test? Stack it. So if you're saying, I'm comfortable with my decimals, I don't need to do that. If you get them all right, great. But if you struggle on some of them, I will tell you, on the test, just stack it. It's a way of checking your work to make sure you're doing it correctly. James?
For the least to largest, greatest, can we just like put the number on top of the decimal?
So if you look at it and you say, okay, 0.8, no, 0.0, I've got a 0 in that tens place. That's the smallest. And then I say, okay, that's my next smallest. And then this one, and then this one. I'm okay with that. Okay. If you're stacking it, remember, you can do the numbers next to it. You don't have to rewrite it in a long ordered form, as long as we can see the order that what's the smallest is 1, the greatest is the biggest number, okay? I'm okay with us not rewriting. Any other questions on today's assignment? If you are at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.